Chapter 1. A nurse should be punctual to a second and orderly to a hair, quiet yet quick, quick without hurry, gentle without slowness, discreet without self-importance, no gossip. Florence Nightingale. Liverpool, 1870. As Maud Linklater threw a dust sheet over a dining table in one of the grand houses in a newly respectable area of the city of Liverpool, she caught a glimpse of movement in the large gold-frame mirror that hung above the fireplace. Startled, she glanced up from her work, and for a moment she almost didn't recognise the woman that she saw in the reflection. Her face was quite long, and with her dark hair pulled back under her maid's cap, she was all face and forehead. Maud thought that if it hadn't been for her big dark eyes, there would have been no saving grace at all for a young woman with such a long, mournful face. She had a plain face. That's what she'd always been told by her grandmother. But there was something indefinably attractive about Maud. Some light in her eyes, the way she held herself, that could only be seen in a flash. No one, least of all Maud, had any idea of what she might be capable of yet. Maud always worked hard, and she never usually gave herself time to dawdle. It was definitely not in her nature to daydream or gaze at herself in a mirror, not like some of the maids in the house, who were forever looking at their own faces on any reflective surface, even the backs of the best spoons. Maud saw her reflection only in a flash, and then got straight back to the task in hand. The polished wood of the dining table was quite an expanse, and it would take 2 large dust sheets to protect it completely. Maud made sure that all of it was covered, and then went around pushing each chair under in turn to make sure that the yellow silk damask of the seat covers was tucked away under the table. Without breaking her stride, she went over to the side table where some porcelain figures stood, which needed protecting with a special light cloth. This was the one place that Maud always allowed herself a few moments simply to stand there, just looking. One of her favourite figures was of a boy in a bright blue suit, holding a little dog. Another was an image of the nurse, Florence Nightingale, the lady with the lamp, standing next to a wounded soldier with his arm in a sling. Maud loved this piece in particular, and made sure that she gave it extra care. And before she covered the figures, she always kissed the tip of her finger and placed it on the head of the wounded soldier, Florence Nightingale, and the little boy, each in turn. She had started out years ago just with the wounded soldier, and then she hadn't felt able to leave the other 2 out. So she now gave each one of them her special token. Then, ever so carefully, she pulled the light cloth over the side table, making sure that not one speck of soot would fall onto her favourite pieces. The Persian rug was next. As she was pulling the thick cover over it, she heard the telltale swish of a heavy wool skirt and the jingle of keys that signalled the arrival of the housekeeper, Miss Fairchild, in the room. "Well done, Maud," said Miss Fairchild, looking around with her eyes narrowed. "I can always rely on you to get the job done without any messing or frivolity."